You're listening to Stu's Wrestling Podcast, established 2019. Direct from the North Wales coast, his verbal skills definitely outweigh his wrestling ability. It's time for British Wrestling's sharpshooter, your host, Stu Harmer!
Hello and a warm welcome. My guest this afternoon is none other than the author of wrestling action figures of the early 1990s, Mr. Kevin Williams.
Hello, how are you doing? You okay, Stu?
All good, and can I just add that the book is available in all good book stockists. I've had a little search this morning on Google, Kev.
Oh, fair play to you, mate. Amazon, you name it, eBay, it's all there, buddy.
Lovely, good plug there, mate. Good plug to start us off. My first question, and I asked this to all the guests first, I always open with this question. How long have you been watching wrestling?
30 years, exactly. It was WrestleMania 6, the first one I seen, so 30 years. Getting old now, boy.
Same time as me, 1990, mate.
Yeah, that's it.
The
golden era, eh?
The heyday of the business for me, and I know you agree with that when we've spoken before.
Yeah.
Who were some of your favourites? Who were you fond of at the time in the early 90s?
Well, obviously Warrior and Hogan, they were massive, weren't they? Absolutely brilliant. Jake the Snake I thought was class. Like a pure one-off guy. Big Boss Man, I love the Big Boss Man. But to be honest with you, I've grown up watching The Undertaker as well. So he is an absolute legend. 30-year pro now in the WWF, that is WE. So.
Were you into any tag teams, Kev, at that time?
Legion of Doom weren't bad, eh? I caught the last end of Demolition. They were okay, but Art Foundation 2. We had a spell of the Rockers, but if I had to say any, I used to love the Steiner Brothers.
They had a good run. More obviously synonymous with WCW, weren't they? But yeah, I enjoyed the WWF run with the Steiner Brothers. They were brill. Yeah,
they were brutal in WCW, the Steiner Brothers, and even now when you watch back, it's so fresh, it's so good, you know. It's like something that hasn't aged, which has aged well, and you know you can recapture it now, and they'd slot right in. Really good.
What were some of your favourite pay-per-view events growing up, Kev? Just like obviously me and you were 90s fans, early 90s. Which ones were floating your boat?
Obviously the top one is Royal Rumble 1992. That has to be the best when Ric Flair won it. But there's a wide range. SummerSlam 92 because it was at Wembley. It's probably UK's biggest wrestling event ever. But there is some good WWF events, things like WrestleMania 17. I love that. That was a great one. Then which one is it with Undertaker and HBK? Is it 29, something like that?
They had 20, 25 and 26, wasn't it?
Oh God, is it that long ago? Is it? Wow. Well, them honestly, because their matches are just something else, mate. So you do get some good ones today still. So
did you manage to attend any events around that time? But even into the late 90s, did you manage to get to live events?
Not WF or WCW, but I did go to local shows and things like that. So I was quite lucky to go and see a few guys wrestle. But it was always hard for me to get tickets, I thought. So I wasn't that fortunate.
How did the book come to fruition?
Well, it's all about WWF Hasbro wrestling figures, really. So I've collected since the birth in 1990, that was. So over the years, I've had a collection, and it's kept growing, and it's complete. So next minute, I put everything into catalogue form. Then I show my brother and a few friends, and it's like, you know what, that needs to get published and a book, you know, just for the fans' sake. So I did that. Sent it away to a couple of publishers, and next minute it's out on the shelves. So
my next question was going to be, how long was the writing process and collating all the photos and stuff?
I'd say about 3 months. It didn't take that long because it was already in my mind anyway, because there's something I love, and it didn't take much.
Has it cost you a lot personally to produce the book?
Not really. It's cost me nothing. So the publishers are paid for that. So all the figures, everything else I've had in my collection. So it's just something that I've put together, really, and the rest is history.
This might be a bit of an obvious one to ask you. Did you have to ask permission to use the photos?
Well, they're my own photographs, and it's a photograph of my collection, and it's what I'm showcasing. So I've let Amberley deal with that side of things. So that's up book publishers, so that's up to them really.
How many? I'm just trying to think. How many pages is the book?
96 pages long. It's 140 photographs and 15,000 words. So it's a good in-depth story of the WWF Hasbro line. So that's all good.
I don't know if you might mind me asking this, but I'm going to ask anyway. How many books have you sold so far?
Well, the deal with Amberley was 5,000 pressed copies. So obviously Amberley have got the hand in all sorts of businesses, like W.H. Smith. They've got a little connection with them. Waterstones. And what did surprise me was places like Australia and New Zealand. I think it's going to America in March, and with the 5,000 I asked for another 25 in early December, and they said that they'd sold out, so that's a reprint more, so it's around the 5,000 mark, I believe.
Superb, Kev, superb. Obviously I wouldn't have known how many you'd sold, but that's fantastic. What a number, mate. I wasn't expecting it to be that many, actually.
No, well, The Undertaker's had a copy.
Get in.
I know that much.
Get in, mate, get in.
Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, is it? I know there's Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, so they did the major wrestling stuff, and it's like I sent them a copy because like the wrestling fans and figure collectors, so I was like, oh, there you go.
That's I'm not dumbfounded or thingy by it, but I can't get over that the Undertaker's got a copy, and obviously Ryder and Hawkins being such big collectors. That's amazing. That is so good.
Yeah.
Fair play to you, mate. Fair play.
Oh, thank you.
Have they spoke to you about it? Have you had any feedback off them guys?
Yeah, I do. I keep in contact with Zack Ryder a little bit through Facebook, and like every now and then he'd have something to show, or I'd have something. We always talk. He's like, "Oh wow, where did you find this?" Like I've had a few rare T-shirts, and like with the book, he said it's quite impressive, and he doesn't read, but he said he's going to take it with him on his travels, and it goes. Even if I just look at the photographs, it's just a good memory to take with him. So that's quite overwhelming, really.
High praise indeed, mate. I enjoy just going on to Ryder and Hawkins. I love the Major Figure podcast, and I love the videos they put on YouTube. Some of the stuff they found. I don't know if you saw it. The episode we went to the High Spots warehouse.
Yeah, was it the Big Boss Man?
the tour, the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite good, yeah.
It's crazy what they find, like,
You know what? Like 10, 15 years back, them 2-ups were like hardly heard of, and they weren't fetching the money they fetch today. I just wish I had the money then to buy a ton, but...
How much were they then, Kev?
You're looking about 1,500 to 2,000. Now you're looking about 6,000 to 8,000. That's in pounds. So
yeah, because... Something reminded me there. I think the Boss Man was he paid $5,000 for that, didn't he?
Yeah, that's a good price. But I imagine today, it's only going to go up because only one was ever made. So.
Do you list any collections? Do you sell anything on the social media?
Not a great deal, really. Sometimes I'd have spares that I need to pass on, or say if I've bought something and there's a job lot. Obviously, there's going to be stuff I don't need, but I still collect. I try and collect retro WWF, WCW, ECW. Like this last week, I've had a load of PS1 games, and I think I'm waiting on Royal Rumble for the Super Nintendo, so it's ever growing.
Do you use them, or are they for display purposes only, your games?
Just collection purpose, really. That's all. It's like, I don't display anything because I don't like to. It's like, I like to store it away, keep it safe. Maybe one day I will, but until that day.
Is there anything else that you're looking for chasing that you haven't got in the collection?
There is a few signatures I'd love, like a Stone Cold, The Rock. But seriously, I'd want to meet them in person. So until there's an event on, I can get to meet them, then I'll have to wait until then.
Do you meet them domestically, or do you go over to the States to meet?
I haven't been to the States yet, but I have been looking at it. I have always been in the UK and travelled most of the UK for it, so I've met some great guys, wrestlers that is, and obviously the fans, they're as wacky as me, and you always get down to talking, and some of their collections is bigger and better than mine, and honest to God, where was I? I think it was Blackpool, and was a guy with some like 4 suitcases full of like wrestling merch just to get signed. It's mad.
It's crazy the people you see. You need to get to the States, mate, I tell you. It's I've had some great trips over there. I've obviously spoke about it on previous episodes. Won't go into it now because I'm talking to you, but yeah, you need to tick off a WrestleMania or something, you know.
Yeah. I don't follow wrestling as much these days, but it'd still be nice to do a WrestleMania.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Like, obviously, I've been over, but yeah, the heyday for me and you is the 90s, isn't it? But
oh, big time, yeah.
Do you know any of the talent at the moment? Or obviously, because you're not watching it as such, but anyone stick out in the current product? Not necessarily WWE, other, you know, the independents, Japan.
Yeah. I love watching NWA Power on YouTube. That's really good. I like Nick Aldis. I know he's a British guy, and there's Eli Drake, but the question mark, if anyone has seen NWA Power, like, who is the question mark? He does about 4 or 5 moves, he says one word, and it just fetches you back to the 80s and 90s. It's just like, you don't see question mark on Twitter twitting people. He's just old school. It's like, yeah, he can live wherever out of Monrovia. You just don't know, but he is just that good.
What was that all about? Have you seen this week's episode yet?
I haven't seen it yet. Number 15. I'm onto it. I've seen 14 where Scott Steiner, he's back, and like, he looks in a bad way, really. But yeah,
it's the name, isn't it? That's the draw.
Yeah,
that's the draw there.
He's still got it verbally.
I met Scott, and I was absolutely bricking it because you hear so many stories. But when I met him, he was lovely. Like, he was brilliant. Really respectful. Asked him a few questions, but yeah. Basically, there's a karate demonstration on episode 15 with the question mark and Aaron Stevens.
Oh, he's brilliant. He's class.
So
Aaron Stevens.
I won't let loose anything else about the episode. That's all. There's a karate demonstration.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get me gi on and I'll have a look.
I like the fact that they don't come out to music like the old 80s studio days as well. That was a standout thing for me.
Yeah, it's just all stripped back, isn't it? It's like, there you go, here's your wrestling, here's your entertainment, goodbye, good night.
How about the relationship with obviously Marty Scurll coming over? Do you reckon there'll be more to do with Ring of Honor?
Yeah, they're going to build links there, aren't they? Ring of Honor, maybe they might get AEW or Impact involved, something like that. It's just going to grow. It's going to become a massive independent scene again, wrestling, I think, in America.
I watch, I'd say another one I watch, Kev, MLW on Free Sports.
I'll have to have a look.
It's brilliant. Court Bauer, who used to write, obviously, for WWE back in the day. It's him, and then they've got Rich Brennan, who used to commentate for WWE on NXT and that. He's on the commentary. They did have Cornette for a bit, and then obviously he went over to NWA. He went over to NWA. Obviously, I know he's not working for them now after what was said.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out MLW if you can.
Yeah, well, definitely.
It's on YouTube as well.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look. Definitely. Thanks.
How long do you reckon Nick Aldis will have the belt for? Do you think they'll keep it on him for a long, long time?
I do think that, yeah. Because again, it's back to the old days where the talent used to hold the belt for at least 12 months. You know, there's something else to look at. And if he's drawing the crowd, then why not?
I just think, like, you know, the fact that you've got young talent on there they're showcasing. But obviously, you got your Ricky Mortons and your Robert Gibsons, and then obviously Tim Storm, who's been with Championship Wrestling for Hollywood. He was champion, wasn't he, for a bit? I do like the mix of old and newer guys that they're going with.
That's it, isn't it? And you know what else I like? It's not flip crazy like AEW.
It's very, very, very old school, innit?
Yeah, that's it.
By design.
Yeah, I love it. So that keeps me occupied with the world of wrestling this day and age, and to be honest, yeah, I love it.
There's nothing better for me. Some people don't get it, do they? But obviously, me and you are on the same wavelength with the NWA, and hopefully Billy Corgan can just get it. You know, can build it. But I wonder, do you think it'll stay in the studio format the whole time, or will they do bigger places? Do you reckon going forward?
I think they'll keep it in the studio. I really do. They're probably making more off YouTube than what they will with ticket sales, so they'll grow.
So AEW, you just find there's too much of a modern style with it. Yeah, what you've seen.
Yeah, it's not organised wrestling for me. It's another product of the WWE where it's, we've seen it all before. It's like, what is different there? Nothing. Just different guys wrestling. I could watch Impact for that.
Do you watch Impact now?
I've tried to watch Impact now. There's some good guys wrestling there, but the product is awful for me. I know Ken Shamrock's back there.
I've seen snippets. It's not. I don't think. I'm not fussed on it, if I'm honest. But obviously, Tessa Blanchard's the champion now.
Yeah. She's good. She's very good.
She's brilliant, but it's devaluing. What happens when she faces a guy? I know Brian. I don't know if Brian Cage is still there. Actually.
It makes. I think he's heading AEW, I believe.
Right. Okay. It's all well and good beating Sami Callihan, but look at your bigger guys. Does it devalue them who are defending the belt against them?
Yeah, possibly does that, doesn't it? Again, I don't really watch it, so I'm like, I can't really give judgment on everything. But what I have been watching, it's all backstage where people beat each other up, and I'm thinking, we had this in the Attitude Era. 20 years old, it's 30 years old nearly. It's like, come on, get with the times, move forward.
New ideas.
Yeah, seen it all before.
What about UK based stuff? Are you into any of the UK based promotions?
You know what? I love Britannia Wrestling. It's like a local promotion to us, but it's like there's local guys there, like Jack Griffiths. I think he's a great talent. And you got Pyro. Well, I grew up with Pyro. To me, it's like, what are you paying? 8-10 quid? It's next to nothing. It's costing you next to nothing in fuel, and you're getting like 6-7 bouts, and it's good fun. There's no over the top swearing. It's family friendly. It's affordable, so I love to go and see Britannia Wrestling. I also like Basics as well, with Mike Roberts. And what was it, 12, 15 years back when Mike set it up, it was like a massive thing to have a wrestling promotion in this area, so now it's like we've got two.
And, Saxon's had some big guys involved, hasn't he, over the last, decade or so.
Yeah.
There's been some big stars passing through the company. It's cool. It's
big time, yeah.
It's still refreshing. They obviously this Alpha Gen looks to be going from strength to strength with the younger guys as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I seen Cody Hall was at one of the shows. I'm thinking, you can see he's a bit green, but in a few years' time he's going to hone his skills a bit and get a bit better, isn't he? So it's nice to see.
He's got the look, and obviously he's got his dad behind him, like you say. So yeah.
He's a big guy. He's like, how many 6'8", 6'10" wrestlers do you know? Not many.
I'm just gonna go back to like the 90s. Which pay-per-views were you into growing up?
Oh, Royal Rumble was my favourite. You didn't know who was entering. It's like, was it 2003 when Mr. Perfect entered? I was like, oh, brilliant. I'm like, it's always a surprise, isn't it? You're like, get in. He's back, or such and such has happened at the Rumble. Brilliant. Well, again, you can't dismiss the top four. It's like WrestleMania, it's like the home of wrestling. It's like, it's the World Series sort of thing. It's the main event. Then your SummerSlam, I still love SummerSlam and Survivor Series, but I do wish they kept that to the tag team format. So, any of the big four.
Awesome. Any events like that stick out to you? Obviously, I know you said you watched WrestleMania 6 first. Any out of the big four that were you remember fondly to this day?
Oh well, SummerSlam 1992.
Yeah.
Because when was it? I'd say 1991, 92. I was talking to a guy about this the other week, and we were saying wrestling was almost as big as football in the UK then. Every kid had a Hulk Hogan figure, wore a Sting t-shirt, collected wrestling stickers. It was huge, and it just goes to show when you have 90,000 at Wembley Stadium how big wrestling was then. So SummerSlam 92 was absolutely massive.
I was fortunate that my mum and dad sorted out that we got a bus from at this end, and I was there. I was there for it. I don't remember much of it. I just remember little bits. Obviously, I was only 6 at the time, but unbelievable. All
the kids' TV shows had SummerSlam and wrestling, and you get the likes of the Nasty Boys like turning up and going live, and you're thinking, this isn't right. You have GMTV featuring Jimmy Hart. You're like, wow.
Just doesn't happen. I know they do have them on the morning breakfast shows, don't they? But yeah, it's not in the same mould as it was when we were kids, is it? As you say.
No way.
I'm just echoing what you're saying, really.
Well, I think like today, the wrestling talent is absolutely class, and they could probably wrestle a mannequin or anything. They're absolutely brilliant. But it's just that character, that feel, that era. It's just like everything else is gone. But we didn't watch wrestling for the wrestling ability, did we? We didn't say like, oh, look at that great like suplex by Mr. Perfect. They'd be like, Papa Shango's just cast a spell on Ultimate Warrior. Like, what's going on? It's all about that.
I used to love watching Superstars.
Yeah.
It used to be pretty...
Superstars, Wrestling Challenge. What was it on the Saturday? All American Wrestling on the Saturday. My thing was to stay up till 5 to 10 and fall asleep because it started at 10.
Are you going to the Forever Wrestling at the Liverpool Convention Centre in April, Kev?
Yeah, I'll be there. Was there 10,000 there last year? It was a very good event. And okay, some things are expensive and it's in Liverpool, unfortunately. No, it's a great city, Liverpool. I have to say that as a United fan. With Forever Wrestling, I will be going, and it's good to talk to people and reminisce with people with the same mindset, really, and hopefully get a few signatures along the way.
I didn't realise you had 10,000 there for that last year.
Oh, absolutely massive event. Honestly, it's like absolutely blowing a gale outside, freezing cold, and you still had guys dressed up as like Brock Lesnar and dress up, man, it's freezing, what are you doing?
Testament to the organisers for that as well, because that's not an easy feat, is it, that amount of people?
No, they're brilliant, honestly, and there's plenty of people you could talk to and ask if you needed any assistance. And yeah, people like to criticise little things on these events, but you can't really. It's something for us wrestling fans, it's like what we need, so get out there and support it. If you're an old school wrestling fan or a new school wrestling fan, you want to meet your heroes, just go. Seriously.
Who are you going to see this year? Who's been booked, mate?
Kenny Omega. Is he on the Saturday or Sunday? So I'd love to meet Kenny. I think he's a great talent. Again, Steiner Brothers, IRS will be there. So there's a few signatures I need. So
do you get photos, Kev?
Sometimes. I used to get photographs, but I've realised I'm ugly. So
I have that problem. But yeah, I am. Yeah. Predominantly, with me it was photos, but the lads I used to go to the States with, they've had a lot of signatures, you know?
Yeah, signatures.
It just depends on the person, doesn't it?
It's like, if it's a big star, someone like Hogan, I would go for a photograph and an autograph, but like Brooklyn Brawler last year, I just thought I'd get a quick squiggle. In the end, he gave me a photograph anyway, so I was like, that'll do.
Look how many years Steve Lombardi was employed by the company as well.
Massive, absolute legend. You know, he is. It's like he's wrestled everyone from like the Red Rooster to Undertaker to Warrior, Hogan, you name it. He's wrestled everyone.
And he worked a number of jobs backstage over the years as well, didn't he, Steve Lombardi?
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? He wasn't just a talent, was he?
Oh, it's a totally different class, mate. It's like, I think the only trouble is his attitude and his mindset, because he's old school. He's just a wrestler, where some wrestlers are business minded, and if he was business minded, I said to him we should write an autobiography, and he's like, oh, I've done an audio version of it. I'm like, we want to read your book. You got stories.
That's it. Like, so, yeah. Kev, I just want you to plug all your social media now and what you do with the social media, just for the listeners, so they can check you out.
Right, I'm on Twitter, so that's the first one, Tweet Wrestling, so search there and you'll find me. There's quite a few followers, so have a look there. I've got a YouTube channel as well, which is the same, Tweet Wrestling, and coming shortly I'll start my blog, so it's in the process of starting, and I said I need to focus on it. I'm just writing about my experience meeting wrestlers and, you know, something to do.
That'll be brilliant. No, I look forward to that, you know, I really do.
Yeah. So, do you collect then, or is it just...
Do you know what? Oh my God, I've never... I didn't collect anyway, but the lads... Oh my God, the lads... One lad had to have stuff FedExed over. You know when we've been to the States.
Yeah.
So you'd go into the superstore I'd set up at like the convention centre for WrestleMania, and they basically had like a delivery point, and he's had stuff sent. He's had piece of canvas and all sorts.
Mad.
Like signed canvas from WrestleMania 30. He's had a turnbuckle pad. Oh, they're crazy. I've just never been into collecting. I had hundreds of wrestling figures when I was younger. But they went to my cousins because they were younger than me. Mum was like, right, get your wrestling figures.
Oh, I had that because I'm a United fan. Like, I'm not a die-hard United fan or anything, but it's just like, as a kid, I used to have like United shirts and stuff like that. My mum's like, oh, right, pass them on to your cousins. I mean, for fuck's sake. But she always used to try and palm me wrestling stuff off. No way. No, not a chance, Mum. I'm like, next time I'll be chokeslamming her through a settee or something. It's like, this isn't happening.
At least,
no, I wouldn't be that bad.
At least you resisted. I can't just let her do it.
No, it's like, I've always collected wrestling stuff, so it's like, I've learned not to go too crazy though. It's like, you see some guys, it's like, well, I've just burnt out 300 quid on a figure. I'm like, you're absolutely mental. How can you do that?
What's your maximum to spend?
What now? Or
yeah, if say something.
I'd say I'd go about 150 now, 200.
What can you get in that price range? What's like?
You can get all sorts, really, quite a wide range. But obviously, signed stuff, that sort of thing, then not really. But I honest to God, I look out for wacky items. Like, I've just completed like the 4 jigsaws from the 90s. I'll send you a picture over.
Right, okay, mate. Yeah, sound.
Little things like that. I've been collecting like old newspaper snippets. It's like, it's totally weird and random stuff, but don't see it.
It's your memories, mate, as well. Though I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, no, fair play.
The sticker books, old games, stuff like that. Oh, I've got T-shirts as well, man. I've got about 12 T-shirts now.
Which ones?
WrestleMania 8.
Brilliant.
Like the original.
That's my favourite. I know I've been to a few. Some people like what's his name? Gene Okerlund said it didn't coagulate WrestleMania 8, but I loved WrestleMania 8.
Yeah, it was good. I loved the Ric Flair Macho Man match where it was blood everywhere. It's like, you don't see this in WF. What?
Brett and Piper was my match. Like, oh, what a match!
Yeah.
Storytelling at its finest.
Yeah, brilliant. Brett was class, so.
Oh, he's my favourite. Really, he's still my favourite, and met him over in New Jersey, and I couldn't get my words out properly.
Really, I met him.
I struggled
a few times. Like, yeah, he's a nice guy. Really is. Piper as well. What a legend. Oh.
You're not going to believe this, Kev. He turned up late to WrestleMania Fan Access.
Yeah.
So we were queuing, right? And literally they were late by about an hour, and the place was going to close. We got halfway through this queue. It was him and Ted DiBiase, and we weren't going to meet him in time. And then obviously later on that year he passed away. I was gutted. Like
2015, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was gutted, mate. I said to Aaron, my mate, I just said, if we'd have stayed in the queue, they were shutting it down anyway.
Yeah.
So I was gutted I didn't meet him.
Yeah, legend. I met him in Manchester in 2009. Oh, probably the best guy I've met. Him and Warrior are about the best.
How was Warrior?
Brilliant. He was good. Like, the queue was massive. It's like, I don't think I've seen a queue like it. But he went through everyone. It's just like, how are you, buddy? You okay? And I said to him, I said, wow, Warrior, you're a nice guy. You're good with your fans. And he's like, thanks, man. I said, I don't believe a word that DVD says with Vince. And he's like, yeah, he's an arsehole, man. I was like, cool. I'm figure signed.
I'm kind of glad that they made amends.
Oh, big time, yeah. Definitely. He was massive, the Ultimate Warrior.
I was obviously there for Raw as well. You know, when he did his speech and that.
Wow.
It was incredible. And then obviously I was coming through the airport, wherever, I can't remember where we were connecting, and there was a TV on, and it was CNN, and it just had emblazoned over the screen that Warrior had died.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
That.
Could not believe it. But I'm glad he made peace with Hogan and, a few of the other guys. He had his closure before he died.
Yeah, do you reckon they knew something was happening?
What with his health?
Might have been, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think so, but it just seems if they knew, like, he was going to die and that was it.
Yeah.
What a legend, though.
It's just it was unbelievable. The amount of T-shirts, in New Orleans that weekend. It was crazy. That yellow one where they put his face on it.
Yeah,
my mate had that, and then obviously they had the masks out, and they must have done a load on merchandise for him that weekend.
Oh yeah, still making millions for the WWE, isn't he? He's absolutely class, mate.
Oh, bloody hell.
Legend. It was your favourite wrestler anyway, the last one.
Of all time?
Yeah.
Bret Hart, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Bret.
Yeah, he was class.
Yeah. And you know what? I was gutted. Obviously in '97 because I think him as a heel, he found himself, and his promo work as a heel was absolutely brilliant.
With the Canada-America thing.
Oh mate, it was so good. It just give him. We always knew him as a face, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I still loved him when he went heel. Being a kid, sometimes you don't want to like the heels, do you? But
no.
I couldn't not.
You know what? When I was a kid, I was 12 then, and my mum used to work, and my dad used to go out for a few beers. So, like, be me, my brother, and two mates used to watch. Like, they used to watch an hour of Nitro, like, from 9 till 10, and we used to watch Raw from 10 till 12, I think, on Sky Sports 3. It was brilliant, mate. Honestly, it's like... It's all about the memory, isn't it?
I was at my cousin's for all that on a Friday.
Yeah.
And his dad had like wired in before wireless and all that upstairs. Yeah. That all their Sky was wired into the bedrooms. Wow. But obviously you could only watch what was on downstairs on the main box.
Oh yeah, that was it, wasn't it? Yeah.
But we were up in my cousin's room, and same as you, mate, flicking between the two.
Yeah.
It was so good. What a time.
Yeah, great memories.
What a time. I could...
Brilliant.
Just reminiscing, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is, because it was that good. It was that hot as well. It was like everyone had the Austin 316 shirt on the year after. Everyone.
One night...
It was so hot for the business.
One Night Only was good as well.
Was that 97?
Yeah, Birmingham at the NEC. Yeah.
Yeah. My mum wouldn't take me. I was like, Mum, could you take me? He's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm like, oh, thanks, Mum. Like, pay for the ticket, I'll even buy you one. Like, no.
we watched it there again because I didn't have Sky at the time. Watched it at my cousin's house again,
Class, mate. Loved it.
You can't. The kids today will never understand.
Never. Well, my nephew now, he's 10, and it's just like, why can't we watch proper wrestling, Kev? I'm like, alright, and we'll put it on the network. And he watches like old episodes of Raw with me.
Does he enjoy it?
He loves the old school stuff.
Good.
It's just real, isn't it?
Oh, bro. Kevin Williams, the author of Wrestling Action Figures of the early 1990s. Thank you very much for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, guys. I'll be listening to more, and take care.